40 years ago, Jane and I hit the road to discover America's food highways. Over 100,000 meals later, we're still finding delicious food, adventure, natural beauty, and interesting people. Southern Arizona is the West. On horseback or by car, traveling through it is a taste of the USA that's both old and new, utterly colorful, full of flavor, restaurants that are one of a kind, and amazing natural beauty. Let's begin in Scottsdale, to the northeast of Phoenix, at a sweet tooth's dream, the Sugar Bowl. Dig the pink upholstery. Ice cream treats are the heart and soul of the menu.
So Scottsdale's really grown, but it's grown around us. It has a Western flair. And certainly I feel the Sugar Bowl is the epicenter of that, because there aren't that many businesses that are still remaining after 60 years. The Sugar Bowl started in 1958 in this very location. It's been here 60 years now. Started by my uncle, Jack Huntress, who was one of the founding fathers of Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. The menu is extremely unique. It hasn't changed. It's got the same items on it that it had 60 years ago. Scottsdale is a welcoming place. It's a great destination for families, and certainly if you're a golfer, we've got hundreds of golf courses to choose from.
With sunshine year-round, this is a golfer's paradise where fantastic scenery is the only distraction. Lolo's Chicken and Waffles is one of Scottsdale's most celebrated eateries among traveling foodies. They've come to know it as a bastion of traditional soul food. That means succulent fried chicken, tart and tangy collard greens, red velvet cake, and its namesake, chicken and waffles. The question is, do you pour syrup on the chicken too? You don't have to be a fitness fanatic to enjoy the beauty of Pinnacle Peak Trail. Whether you run it or just take an easy stroll, it's 3.5 miles of winding footpaths and magnificent views of the valley below and the mountains beyond. In the city, when you're feeling hungry but in no mood for fuss and fanciness, here's a place you want to know about. The Stand is a local's favorite. They come to enjoy creative milkshakes made from the freshest ingredients. Colorful tacos that are a cut above the ordinary, made with short ribs, crunchy vegetables, and pickled cabbage. There are yummy French fries and broad burgers dressed to the nines. Or have a hearty salad. Or a hot dog like you've never tasted before. If you really want to find the flavor of the West, and we're not talking food here, head out to Cave Creek Outfitters. They'll fit you up with an easygoing horse and take you on a ride through the desert.
Right now we have roughly 47 horses on property that we take out throughout the day. Most of our horses out here come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and a lot of horses we have rescued. Billy here was rescued. When we first got him, he was skin and bones. They're not trained at all. If you look at him now, he's a completely different personality of a horse and a completely different horse in general.
This is a good place to sharpen up all your vital frontier skills. And when appetite beckons, Cave Creek has you covered with a menu of real campfire victuals, served informally under the bright blue sky. The city of Tucson is older than the nation. Here you find the little one.
We're from Sonora. My father is from Guaymas, my mother from Hermosillo. And we grew up in a home. My father, really neat story, he actually ran the very first drive-in restaurant, you know, with the girls on roller skates and all of that, in the state of Sonora. The food is from the state of Sonora in that it's homemade cooking, comida casera. So it's food that if you went into any home where they love to cook, you would find these things on the stove and you would find them cooking.
The operative phrase here is love to cook. For these beautiful, true Mexican meals quite literally thrill your taste buds. Chilies are a frequent star, and vegetables never had a happier home. Egg breakfasts are grand, as is soul-stirring mole.
You know, people come in, it's a family-owned restaurant. It's like coming home to eat, I think. I think you can get good food in a lot of different places. Sandra and I both feel that way. But to me, it's the experience. I think Tucson is a really great place because it's, I guess it's a big city, but it has a very small town feel.
Tucson's personality is unique. Because it's been around so long and hasn't suffered from the monotony of urban renewal, it glows with quirkiness as well as tradition. Here's the place to go if you're hankering for a double flipper hit, a slap save, a drop stop, a slingshot pass, or a serious bang back. Tucson is visually stunning.
My wife and I have opened up the Ignite Sign Art Museum. I got involved with signs back in the early 70s when I first picked up a brush and started learning how to paint. I started collecting signs at about that same time. I found my first porcelain sign, which was a Coca-Cola sign that was underneath the bench in the sign shop I was learning at. You know, there's people, I hear about it all the time, people stop by and they're taking pictures of my signs. You know, and we've got enough mass in town here that it's worthwhile. You know, you can't see all the signs in one night of driving. In fact, we've done driving tours where we thought it was going to be an hour and a half and it took 3. We've got, you know, some of the old existing neon signs down there. We've got a former mortuary called Riley's that's been turned into a pizza place, and they kept the sign and we restored the sign. The city of Tucson really is a big small town, and I've felt that way since we moved here in '83.
Of its many culinary assets, Tucson's weirdest and most wonderful just might be the Sonoran hot dog. Street carts throughout the city serve these beauties that get cooked in a wrap of bacon and fully dressed like nowhere else. The best-known emblem of this particular part of the West is the saguaro cactus, star attraction of the resplendent Sonora Desert Museum.
So we will turn your idea of a museum inside out. Most people, when they think of museums, they think of a museum inside. Well, 85% of our grounds are actually outside. You can go on our Desert Loop Trail. We are not only a museum, we are a botanical garden, we are a zoo, we are an aquarium. And you may be wondering, why are stingrays in the desert? The Sonora Desert encompasses the Gulf of California, and the Gulf of California is home to those incredible creatures. So when you're here, you can actually feel the touch of a stingray and learn why ocean conservation is so important, even in the desert. If there's one thing you shouldn't miss while you're here, it's the hummingbird aviary. You walk inside and you get to spend time with our favorite winged wonders. They are so fast. You'll be walking around and they go straight by you like, there is literally something for everyone who steps foot in this place. And it's only 25 minutes outside of Tucson, so you'll really have an immersive experience of the Sonoran Desert and all of its beauty.
Tucson is one of the great breakfast cities of the West. And while the Five Points Market serves lunch too, it's the morning meal that makes it a must-visit food stop. Big, beautiful biscuits, a dazzling array of coffee drinks, creative egg dishes found nowhere else, meals with a Mexican flair, and plate-wide pancakes. People come to eat, to relax, to socialize, and to savor true artisan food in a casual setting. Heading south toward the border is an Old West town that's become a cultural landmark, Tombstone, home of Wyatt Earp and the gunfight at the OK Corral. Tombstone makes the most of its fabled history. It's a genuine town, people live and work here, but it's also a cowboy-themed park. Walking around on the raised sidewalks, it's easy to imagine what life was like here over a century ago. Actors, as well as ordinary citizens, in their vintage attire make it all the easier. You can't visit Tombstone without a trip to Boot Hill, a graveyard that got its name because so many of its inhabitants died with their boots on. There are Boot Hills throughout the Old West, but Tombstone's is unique for its clever headstone. Down in Cochise County, Bisbee is an old mining town with crazy nonconformist character.
This town started in 1880 by, it was named after California State Judge DeWitt Bisbee.
Walking along the streets of Bisbee, there's a surprise around every corner.
Bisbee unique, we have a lot of artists here, a lot of musicians, a lot of creativity here, so people are freely able to decorate and design their houses however they want. And so we have a lot of freedom here for expression. Festivals nearly every single weekend here, so there's usually something to do that's fun here every weekend. By 1880, Bisbee was one of the largest, most wealthy and cultured cities from San Francisco to St. Louis. So we had a little bit of everything here. They did mining for 95 years here. They did both underground and open pit mining.
The town of Lowell, just outside Bisbee, is a time capsule place where the streets are filled with vintage vehicles and many of the storefronts haven't changed in decades. Here you find the Bisbee Breakfast Club, a relaxed town cafe that used to be a local secret, but the word is out. Meals here are a match for the biggest appetite. Handsome chicken fried steak, mountainous biscuits served warm and ready to butter, breakfast casseroles, eggs galore, and fantastic pancakes. Bisbee has so much to offer in the way of unique attractions. One of the most challenging is known as the Great Stair Climb.
And the Bisbee 1000 celebrates everything about Bisbee that people who come as tourists or people who live here, new residents, all residents love, is the fact that Bisbee was built at the turn of the last century before cars, when people walked to get to work, to live, to do everything they did. So the town is loaded with 3 miles of stairs, 351 sets of stairs. Bisbee 1000 is in its 29th year this year and literally does 4.5 miles up the stairs, down the roadways in a big figure-8 course where you see everything from the smallest little mountainside, all the wonderful architecture.
Southern Arizona is no dry, parched wasteland. It's a sweet spot, rich with frontier history, neon colors, and thrilling food. Hey, even the desert here is spectacular, a wonderland of rare plants, exotic animals, and unearthly natural beauty.